Welcome to Living Consciously. I'm Allie Mangrum, and this is my very first recorded yoga class. For those of you who have taken yoga from me before, you know that my class is a restorative class. It's meant to get into the joints, release movement from the joint, move into our fascial planes, and then into our muscle. I believe that energy moves through our body through our fascial planes. And if we can release the fascial planes, energy can move with greater ease through us. This class is meant to give back and to restore what so much of our daily life takes away. For most of the class, your eyes will be closed, and I want you to pay attention to the small, subtle movements of your body. Obviously, I'm not a professional at recording, so the angles may be off, but I'm hoping that if you can just close your eyes and sink into your own body, you will get the same effect. I want you to start out by finding a comfortable position on the floor. Take a moment and just adjust your body. Now that might be lying down with your knees bent, might be lying down with your legs straight. Take a moment and just adjust your body in till you feel a little more comfortable and a little more relaxed. I want you to take a nice deep breath into the body. On your exhale, I want you to sink all of your awareness down into your body. All the way down to the tips of your fingers and the tips of your toes. I want you to notice how your body feels lying here against the floor. If there's anything you need to adjust to be a little more comfortable and a little more relaxed. Slowly, I want you to bring your attention into your belly. As you inhale, I want you to let your belly lift and expand. As you exhale, I want you to let your belly fall and relax. Without judgment, I want you to notice the places in your body that feel tense or tight. Take a moment to just breathe into them and adjust them however you can until they open and you're able to relax a little further. For the first few moments of class, I just want you to focus on your breath. Inhaling, the body lifts slightly. Exhaling, you gently relax. Slowly, I want you to crawl your legs away from you as if you're trying to lengthen the legs, stretching out until it's as if they would touch the wall on the other side of the room. Keeping your hands on the floor, let your arms just slide over your head, and then crawl gently, like you're trying to touch the back of the room. Start to move the arms and the legs together, just lengthening the body from the tips of your fingers to the tips of your toes. Quietly reaching and elongating out further and further. As you stretch, take deep breaths in. On your exhale, sink back into the floor. Take a moment and just settle into the ground here. Let the back lift off the ground. And then let it settle back in. Gently bring your hands down to the side. Bring the bottoms of your feet together and just drop your knees open. Place your hands on your lower abdomen, and I want you to take a few breaths into your lower belly. Inhaling, the belly lifts, and you can feel a stretch into the pelvis and into the inner thighs. Exhaling, your stomach falls. Start to let your back move with your breath. So on the inhale, the back lifts off the floor, the belly expands. And on the exhale, your back sinks into the floor and the belly collapses. Let it move gently back and forth until the inner thighs and hips release a little deeper. Slowly bring your hands to your outer thighs and just bring the knees together, feet flat to the floor. Walk your feet under you and adjust your hips so your back is flat to the ground. And then place your hands, your fingers right on your hip bones, your thumbs on your ribs. And I want you just to start to rock your hips back and forth. On the inhale, your lower back arches off the floor, the hips rock forward. On your exhale, the lower back pushes into the floor and the hips rock back. Let your pelvis and lower back just move gently as your body quietly releases. With every exhale, you give yourself permission to surrender into this moment, into this room, into these postures. Letting go of all the other things you carry that you cannot change. On your next exhale, just push your lower back into the floor and slowly begin to roll up like a bridge, segment by segment. Roll up only to about the height of your chest or shoulder blades. And then roll down one vertebrae at a time, gently rolling into the ground. Your eyes are closed, and I want you to visualize your spine. As you roll up, one vertebrae lifts off the ground, independent. One at a time to about the height of your chest. As you roll down, each vertebrae sets to the floor, one at a time. Continue to do this at your own pace a few times, loosening the spine. For the better mobility you have in your spine, the better energy flows through your entire body. And when energy moves through you with ease, you feel better, you move better, you live better. One more time, nice and controlled. Every segment in your spine, every vertebrae is supposed to have independent movement. So focus on each vertebrae, setting it down one at a time. When you're finally relaxed to the floor, just rock the hips a little. Bring your arms in a Y over your head, your feet a little wider than your hips. Then I want you just to start to lower both legs over to the left, and then quietly rock both legs over to the right. I want you to feel the stretch from that fascial plane. You'll feel it all the way down. It might begin at your knee, go up to your hip, then come across the ribs, all the way up to the shoulder or armpit. Everybody's fascial planes are unique and restricted in their own pattern. So just move as it gently feels right to you. Back and forth. Letting your exhale be your release. The next time you rock to the left, keep it there. And imagine that your right knee was going to reach all the way to your left foot. Take your right hand and crawl it a little further behind you so you get a good stretch from your fingertip, down your rib, all the way to your knee. Take a deep breath in, lift. Exhale, sink a little lower. Slowly rock over to the other side. Lower the leg down, reach that left leg to the right foot, and then crawl the left hand and feel the body open. Finger down the ribs all the way to the knee. Send all your breath into that area, letting the exhale take it further. We carry stress in our bodies. We hold it in different areas. Taking the time to move and breathe is a beautiful way to let go of the stress you do not need to carry. Slowly bring the knees up to the center. Adjust your body, adjust your hips. Pull your knees in towards your chest, holding on to the shins. Now I want you to squeeze your knees into the ribs really tight and then push your tailbone to the floor. Do this a couple times. Walk the knees in as tight as you can and then press your tailbone to the ground. Trying to give yourself more space between your lower vertebrae and your sacrum. So that L5, S1 vertebrae that's so often the most likely disc to herniate or injure. Every time you exhale, you push your tailbone, you elongate it to the floor. Just surrendering into the ground. Take your hands and grab a hold of one knee at a time. Pull the knees up like you're trying to get your knee up into your armpit. Push your tailbone to the floor, then start to make big circles with your knees. Your knees pull in tight and then they open wide, moving all the way around. A few more, just the same. The next time the knees come together, place the legs together, straighten them up to the sky, and then bring your hands down to the floor. Now you could put your hands under your hips if that feels a little better on your back, or just set them to the side. In this posture, your legs might start to sway. They might start to rock. Let them do whatever they're going to do. Close your eyes and just let your legs move as they will, finding their unique movement pattern. This posture is meant to be an anti-anxiety posture, calming the body and the mind as it brings blood flow back to the heart and resets your nervous system. Every exhale, you sink into the floor a little deeper. Slowly bring the knees into the chest. Hug them tightly again. Take your arms open in that Y, tuck the knees up, and then drop both knees over to your left. Walk your shoulders to your left, turn your head to the right. Give me a deep breath in. Exhale. Sink down into the floor. Depending on how tight your body is, you might feel restriction in many different places. You don't want to push against yourself. You just want to breathe into it. Wherever you feel tightness, send your breath there. And then let your exhale relax you further. Slowly bring your head to the center. Pick up both knees, gently rolling back towards the center. Take your elbows, put them on your inner thigh. Take your forearm around your calf and hold to the outside of your ankle. You place the bottoms of your feet together, your elbows push your knees away, and your hands bring your feet up close to your face. Breathing into the inner thigh, you'll feel a little stretch. There's a tiny little muscle called the pectineus. In each exhale, just breathe into that area. Let it go. Our bodies are storage containers for emotion. They store all the emotions, all the stress, all the worries that we're not quite ready to process. The postures in yoga were designed to release the stress the body holds, to free us of the tension we carry, so that the mind will be ready for a deeper meditation. Release the hands, bring the legs together. Pull the knees up, open the arms wide, and then drop both knees over to the right, like they're coming up into that armpit. Walk the shoulders to the right, turn the head to the left. And then with your breath, try to relax yourself into the floor. Give yourself permission to just let go. To feel that surrender that we so desperately need. So often we try so hard to fight through life, to cling so tightly that we exhaust our body and mind. Right now on this mat during this class, give yourself permission to surrender, to let it go. For you were never meant to carry it all. Slowly bring the legs back up to the center. Walk the shoulders level. I want you to take your left leg, cross it over your right. Take your hands and either hold on to the knee on top of the leg, or you could go underneath if your flexibility doesn't allow. Whatever place you are, hold on to that leg. Relax your shoulders, relax your upper body. Take a big breath in, and then in your exhale, melt your whole body into the floor. You should feel a pretty intense stretch through that left hip, the gluteus, down the IT band. With each breath, see if your body won't let you go a little deeper. Bringing the knee into the chest on the exhale. If your body asks for it, maybe you just rock side to side a little. Choosing to let go with every breath. Whatever it is you're holding, let it go. I want you to take your ankles and your toes and just start to circle them. You might hear them pop or crack a little, that's normal. Trying to get movement into joints and tissue that may not have been there before. Point and flex your toes, move your ankles. And then roll it the other way. Bring your ankles to stillness and settle into the stretch a little deeper. Using your breath as your guide. The arms spread wide, the knees drop over to the right again. This time as you drop to the right, I want you to walk your shoulders a little further to the right. Turn your head to the left. And then you can use your top hand as a little overpressure to just bring your leg to the floor. The next few breaths are so big that the inhale just lifts the whole body. And the exhale sinks you down into the floor. Spinal twists are cleansing, detoxifying postures that help to push the toxins out of our lungs, out of our ribs, out of our kidney, giving us a fresh, clean start. As the head turns, drop the opposite shoulder and you might begin to feel a stretch through your neck. Just let it go. Every exhale is a chance to release whatever tension you carry. Slowly start to come out of it. Release your legs, bring them back both in towards the center. Take your right leg all the way to the floor. Your left knee only up into your chest. Hold on with just your left hand and pull that knee up like it's coming into your armpit. Open the knee out to the side of your body as far as it will go, slow. And when it's out to that point where it's as deep as possible, release your hand and then whip your knee back into the center. Do this a few times. So you come out really slow, opening out to that maximum point, and then you whip it back into the center. This is a self-mobilizing technique for your hip joint. A lot of times the thigh bone slides forward in the hip joint. And sometimes this technique can put it back into place for you. The next time it's in the center, hold it there. Take your hand to the back of your hamstring and straighten your leg up. It's not about getting your leg all the way straight. It's about feeling a sensation through the back of your thigh and into the back of your hip. So as your leg straightens, I want you to hold on to the thigh right below your knee. And I want you to take your hands and drive your thigh down into the floor. So almost like your leg is a stake and you're trying to push it down into the ground. As you drive that thigh into the ground, you should feel a stretch on the back side, right by your tailbone. Your leg might shake a bit. This is okay. This is your SI joint, and as you start to get that joint to loosen, your entire back will feel better. Give me one more breath, just driving that down and in. And then slowly bend your knee. Pull your opposite knee up into the chest as well, both knees up tight. Take your right leg, cross it over your left. Hand either goes underneath or on top, depending on your flexibility. Relax your shoulders, and then use your arm to pull your legs close to your chest. Now you're going for opposition here. Your knees are pulling into your chest at the same time that your tailbone is pushing down to the floor. Feel that length. Feel your knees pull in and your tailbone push down. This is a great stretch for your piriformis and your gluteus medius, two of the muscles that often cause a lot of low back and sciatic pain. If you have pain running down the back of the thigh or pain in the low back, stretching into the glutes is a great thing to do. Take the next few breaths to just surrender into your stretch. Relaxing the muscles in your face and just choosing to let it go. Slowly take your arms out in that Y and just drop the knees over to your left. As your knees drop over to your left, walk your shoulders to your left. Turn your head to the right. Now you can take that arm and help guide your knee to the floor. But ultimately, both of your knees would touch the floor. Both of your shoulders would touch the floor. And as your head rotates, you feel that stretch even deeper into the ribs, maybe up behind the shoulder blade. I want you to give me a few of your deepest breaths yet into that right rib and lung. Inhale, let the whole body lift. Exhale, let your whole body fall. Each breath gives you a little more room. Each breath takes you a little deeper. Until your whole self surrenders. As the physical tightness releases, you may start to feel a pulsation or heat or movement of some kind. As you open up the fascial planes, energy moves into areas that it has not been before. Breathe into it and let it open. Slowly come back up to the center. Uncross the legs, take the left leg down, the right knee in. Hold on with just the right hand and pull that knee up into your armpit really tight. Open it out slow until it's as far as out it will go, and then whip it back into the center. Try this a few times. You might feel that stretch or the thigh bone just reset back into the hip. Move at your own pace and open through the hips. One more time. Both knees pull back into the chest and you just rock a little bit side to side. Pulling the knees in and out. Kind of take your knees in a circle and just massage your whole lower back into the floor. Take the circle and go the other way. Pull the knees into the chest, squeeze really tight. Can roll the ankles a little bit, pointing and flexing the toes. Go the other way. And then at your own pace, in your own way, I want you to come up to a seated position. When you come up into that seated position, I want you to sit nice and tall. Take a moment to adjust and then just roll your shoulders. As the shoulders come up into the ears, let them pull up tight, and then on the exhale, just let them settle down. On your next exhale, drop the shoulders down and back, and then slowly tuck your chin into your chest. Just as gently roll your head up. Do this a few times, just tucking down, just like you did with your lower back. Letting each vertebrae in the neck move, and then coming up. The next time your chin tucks, keep it there. Your shoulders are relaxed, and you're just gonna roll your head very slow and gentle side to side. Just roll your head left to right, slow and easy, letting the tension in the neck release as the body opens. Letting the shoulders sink away from the ears and just feeling the whole neck and back surrender. The next time your chin is to your chest, keep it there and then roll it up slowly. On your inhale, reach your arms high over your head all the way up. Once you're up, I want you to start to crawl. Imagining a line from your fingertip all the way down your ribs into your back. And I just want you to crawl it out. Let your body lengthen, let it lift. And then when it's up at its maximum point, hold it. Interlock your fingers, press them to the sky. Pull the elbows back behind your ears and push your chest forward. Lift. Open your heart space. Breathe into it. Slowly bend your elbows behind your head. Catch your head and pull the elbows back. Keeping your shoulders and elbows back against the wall, side bend. In this position, I want you to reach both elbows in opposition and lengthen. Slowly, I want you to start to twist a little back, reaching the back arm to the back of the room. And then come forward and lengthen even more. Inhale up to the center. Exhale over to the other side. Take both elbows and stretch them out in opposition further and further. And then pull the top elbow back and lift the chest. Breathe into it. Inhale up to the center. Reach the arms back overhead, stretch and lift. Exhale, bring the hands down. Keep the wrists flexed and stop. Shoulder height, hold. Turn the palms up, bend the elbows, reach behind you and open your chest. Squeeze. Exhale, round forward. Bring the palms together, push to the front of the room, tuck your chin. Let the tension in the back release as you just go side to side with the arms. Kind of like you're making a little figure eight. Just back and forth. Slowly release the hands down and roll up slowly, gently. Sit up tall, roll those shoulders a few more times. We have a lot of tension in our body these days. Let it go. In fact, I want you to give me a deep breath in, lift the shoulders up. Sigh of relief. Do a couple more of those. One more. Bring your hands back behind you. Lift your chest, drop your shoulders, lift your chin. And take a moment to just breathe into your heart. Close your eyes and just fill your heart space with whatever it needs today. Light, energy, compassion or love. Let it in. Slowly come to neutral. Bring your palms to the sky, drop your shoulders. Relax your body the best that you can. If you're uncomfortable seated, I'd like you to lay down. We're going to spend about 5 minutes in meditation. Slowly, you're going to bring your attention to your breathing. Just observing the breath as it moves in and as it moves out. There is no right way to breathe. Just breathe. Focused only to the breath. Always on the breath. Letting each exhale relax you as it naturally does. And envisioning whatever tension, whatever weight, whatever burdens you're carrying On the exhale, just melts down the arms and releases out the tips of your fingers. You let it go. Whatever burdens you're carrying that are not yours to hold, you let them go. Whatever concerns you have that you cannot control the outcome, you let it go. Whatever tension you hold, you breathe it out. And you let it go. For the next minute or so, I want you just to breathe and release. To breathe and let go. To breathe and surrender. If you're not there already, slowly at your own pace, I want you to move back to the floor for final Shavasana. Final Shavasana is different than meditation, as we do not focus our mind to any one thing. Rather, we surrender down into the earth. And we allow our mind to be like a flowing river, moving from moment to moment, without stagnating on any one thing. Final Shavasana is a laying down of the old habits, the old ways, a laying down of the old thoughts or beliefs that no longer serve you. And when you sit up, it is a new beginning, a fresh start. Take a moment and just notice your body. Notice any differences you feel now compared to the beginning of class. Notice your energy flowing and moving through you. And let it touch every cell. slowly we begin to come out of Shavasana. You can wiggle your fingers and toes, moving your body however it feels right. Slowly taking your time, bring your knees up into your chest, hugging tightly. I want you to roll over to the right side, just resting your head upon your ear or your head upon your arm. A moment of gratitude. Grateful for all that you are and all that you will be. And as you feel ready, you can come up to a seated posture. Sitting nice and tall. I want you to give me one last breath, inhaling high. Bring the palms together in prayer, and on the exhale, just lower down to your heart center. Acknowledging yourselves for all the work you just did here, but even more importantly, for the work you're doing in your daily lives. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. My body definitely needed that. I hope that you feel as good as I do and that I will see you back.